plyometrics or dunk sessions? Because I got this question. This question was on YouTube on my Answers for Athletes channel. It was from a guy named Francisco Caesarea, who said, what is better to increase your vert? A progressive overload plyometric session or a hoop and dunk session with max effort jumps? And here's what I'd like to say. I believe that depending on the plyometrics, because not all plyos are created equal, depending on the plyos, if you are doing higher level plyometrics, the best plyos out there, those plyometrics are going to be more effective at increasing your vertical jump than a dunk session would. Now, what I will say is a dunk session is going to be far superior than plyometrics when it comes to improving your ability to dunk, because dunking is a skill. And if you want to improve your ability to dunk, you need to dunk. If you would like to improve your ability to jump, plyometrics are going to be a little bit better in my opinion. And let me ask you something. Here's why I think that. Can you jump higher with or without a basketball? You watching this video, can you jump higher with a basketball or can you jump higher without a basketball? I often get people that say, Coach Nate, I can get my palm above the rim, but I still can't dunk a basketball. Why is that? It's because when you jump without the ball, you are using your arm swing, you're using the momentum from your arms, your core, your upper body. And when you have the ball, it's a little bit harder to jump because now you are jumping with an object in your hands, albeit a basketball. So why I would say that plyometrics, depending on the plyo, are better than dunk sessions at increasing your vertical jump is because you can get more intent. You can jump a little bit higher if you're doing a high object touch, like a Vertec. Let's say you're jumping up to touch a Vertec or jumping up to touch a tennis ball hanging on a string from a ceiling. You can jump a little bit higher without a basketball than you can with a basketball. So I keep saying, depending on the plyo, I think that if we just break it down to just max jumps without a basketball or max jumps with a basketball, max jumps without a ball are going to increase your vertical jump more. Max jumps with a ball, aka dunking, is going to increase your ability to dunk more because dunking is a skill. And if you want to improve the skill of dunking, you need to dunk. So I keep saying that not all plyometrics are equal. They're not. So when you do your plyometrics, you should have, and if you're listening to this podcast, that's excellent because you're trying to improve your knowledge base. But you should know what the different plyometrics that you are doing for your body. Because this isn't an or situation. It's not, should I do plyometrics or should I do dunks? It's both. You should be doing both, plyometrics and dunks. So for myself, I know that I've been off for about 5 months now. But now that I'm back into my training, what I do is I do plyometrics and I do dunks every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now, it's not always max intensity dunks. Most of the time, it's not max intensity dunks. I have an adjustable hoop, so that allows me to do dunks at less than max intensity. But I'm not doing plyos or dunks. I'm literally doing my warm-up, then I do my plyometrics, then I dunk, and then I do my strength work. And then I do, my light mobility or stretching, and then I do my breathing and my visualization or whatever I'm going to do. But guys, it's not one or the other. It's most likely you need to be doing both. If your goal is a basketball player, if you play volleyball, it doesn't matter. You don't need to be doing dunks. But if you're a basketball player, which most of you listening and watching this are, you should be doing both, plyos and dunks. But you need to understand what you don't get from a dunk session. You're not getting that much reactive strength work from a dunk session. You're getting a ton of technique work. You're getting some rate of force development work. You're getting motor pattern improvements. You're getting a lot from dunking. But if we think about reactive strength, you're going to improve your reactive strength much more by doing depth jumps or pogo jumps or sprints. So I think that you really need to understand what the plyometrics that you are doing are working on. Bounding and hopping and depth jumps and sprints, etc., are going to be great for reactive strength. Let's say you do seated box jumps where you're just focusing on the concentric. Let's say you do deep ranges of motion jumps. When you do a dunk session, you're pretty much only touching that top quarter squat range of motion. There may be some value to, in your training, doing some deeper range of motion jumps and plyometrics. Many basketball players and many athletes in general aren't comfortable with jumping out of a deep squat or a deep lunge. So all that I want to say here is that to answer Francisco's question, I do think that the high-end plyometrics are going to be better than dunks at increasing your vertical jump. But if you're a basketball player, dunking is going to be the best thing that helps you with dunking. So it's not it's not an or situation, plyos or dunks, it's an and situation. You should be doing both. Your schedule might look different from mine, but you should find time within a week of your training to do both plyometrics and dunks.